Let them get inside. That West see when you ride. I'm keeping my Jimmy on tied. I can count that shit with no eye. You kill my partner with stride.
Everybody has that one sorry friend in basketball who's just terrible, but they just won't give up. Even though everybody tells them they're trash, they believe that they're good, and they tell themselves that they're good every day. And even though how delusional that sounds, it works for them because it turns their weakness into their strength. Shit, go figure. So YouTuber Flightreacts, also known as Not Your Average Flight, is known for his most hilarious reactions.
Fucking moose or a buffalo or some shit that fight. Where the fuck are you
Bro, this dude is a dumbass. It's a deer.
Steph Curry worshiping.
Look at Curry, man. Just so fast. Look at Curry. Look at Curry, man. Just amazing, bro.
And all his delusional antics that really sets this guy apart from any other YouTuber.
But you put me in any era like in the 1930s through like I say probably like the 99s, because that's when the NBA started to get a little bit more athletic and shit. Bro, like I'm averaging 30-40 plus points a game, bro, with ease, bro.
But what's really been giving Flight all this buzz is not just all that. It's his abnormally low basketball skill.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh yeah.
But since this year started, Flight has been hyping himself up in a community that in June, he will be improved. And this will be a transformation of Flight. Not just any other Flight, but this is going to be June Flight.
That was nice. I'm doing that by June, by the way, everybody. Remember that. Looks like that, you know, the little double clutch and the rim grazers. I'm back to that by June. I average 6 points per game. That's going to go up by June. That's going to go up, you know, at least by 18 or 20. You know what I'm saying? I'm averaging 18 to 20.
He's been hyping himself up so much that he's making it seem like he's going to a hyperbolic time chamber on some Goku shit, and his transformation is going to earn him an advanced Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct transformation, and that transformation is going to be called June Flight. What the fuck? So with Flight's whopping 3.86 million subscribers, he has a lot to prove not only to us, his subscribers, but to his opponents as well. Will he be able to do it? So with everything being said, today is June 15th. This means that it is the halfway mark of the month. And in this video, I'll be analyzing Flight's improvement so far, and together we're going to see if June Flight is a myth or a legend. But before we start this video, I want to say I consider myself an above average basketball player. I've been hooping my whole life. I played basketball for all 4 years of high school, and I currently work as a scout team player for the FSU basketball team. So I can say I'm pretty nice. I'm not no buster. I've hooped with the best, I hoop with the worst, and honestly, I can really break the game down on a sports level in which all of you guys can understand. So with that being said, let's get started. So with this analyzation, I will begin with the positives and the negatives of both his offensive and defensive games. And while doing this, I'll break down the moves and the strategies he's been using. And I'll also try to add a little things that he can improve his game on, and then give a slight summary, nothing too drastic. Lastly, I'm gonna give Flight a new overall and all the badges I believe that he earned. All right, so let's start with his offensive improvements. Let me find out Flight is a shooter. Well, maybe not yet, but he's getting there. I'm not gonna cap. One thing I can tell you guys, his shot has improved a lot. His shot mechanics has gotten way better. Shooting mechanics go down to your shooting form. The better your shooting mechanics, the better your precision is, and the better your arc is, meaning for a better shot. The greatest shooters, meaning Klay Thompson, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, and even
Curry. Curry is just a GOAT, man. Just awesome.
All have solid shot forms, which steadily promotes stability and accuracy. So that's why they shoot at a high level, just because their form is so solid and so consistent. Flight's shot is now more consistent. You can see him bending his elbow at more of a 90-degree angle, and he's also using an adequate lower body position and making his follow through a little bit more fluid. One thing that I can say is Flight has not mastered his shooting yet. He doesn't shoot the same every time. His shot mechanics are still iffy, meaning that sometimes he shoots correctly and sometimes he doesn't. When he doesn't shoot correctly, he will shoot what a shooter would call a good miss. A good miss means that you shoot the ball and it hits maybe the front of the rim, the back of the rim, or goes in and out. These good misses means that there's something in your shot mechanics that's throwing it off. It could be how you're flicking the ball. It could be how your follow through is. It could be if you're using too much arm power, if you're not using enough legs. It could be anything. So in Flight, I think his main problem is his legs. He doesn't really use a lot of legs when he shoots, and that's okay, but you got to know your shot comes from your lower body. If you can fix that, you're going to start shooting more, especially if it's from range. And I think Flight has to work on that. Now, I know some of you guys are probably thinking, yo, I don't think you really know what you're talking about. This man has been missing a lot of shots. Now, trust, I understand he's been missing a lot of shots. One thing that I can say is he's been making a little bit more shots than usual, and the majority of his shots that he missed were good misses. Granted, he did airball a lot. He did hit the back of the backboard a lot. But when he does, the reason why he hits those terrible shots from the backboard and those air balls are mainly because he rushes his shots. When Flight either gets tired or he wants to end the game or whatever reason, he starts shooting up terrible shots. When I mean terrible shots, I mean terrible formed shots, where he's tired and he doesn't use correct form, or he's just rushing and his form just breaks down. Again, shooting is about mechanics. When your mechanics break down, your shot breaks. So when he's doing the right thing, he either makes a shot or he makes a good miss. Those are identities of a decent shooter. And I think we all hate to say it, but Flight can dribble a little bit. I'm not gonna cap. His handles are more tight and he can actually size a nigga up. His favorite size up move now is that LeBron cross. You know that one cross that Cash Nasty loves to do? You fake one way and cross quickly to the next way. Flight's been using it and he's been using it pretty damn effectively. Granted, maybe it's getting people because they don't expect that from Flight, who knows, but it's been getting people, and I'm impressed. As a basketball player, I'm impressed. I like the improvement. I'm not gonna lie, he's improved. His footwork is actually pretty damn good now, especially because of how it was before, man, I don't think he really knew where to place his foot, especially when he was driving or trying to do any moves, but now you can see it's more coherent. He's doing more post moves, which is good because he's a taller player than most of the people who he plays against, so he should be posting a lot more than he usually does. So he added more post moves to his game and more finishing moves, and I could say he looks good. When he's doing it, he looks good and it looks coherent and it looks like an actual basketball play. But as a basketball player, here's my beef for all of that. His footwork and his moves are $100 million plays, but his finishes are 10 cents, my nigga. What this means is his moves are great, but he just can't finish. His finishing is still inadequate. Yeah, it got better. I'll say that. It did get better. He can make more difficult layups. He can actually finish. He can actually do a little bit more than what he was capable of. But I just think that he needs to keep on working on his finishing game, because yes, it is an improvement, but it's still not where it needs to be. For heaven's sake, this guy lost to FaZe Rudd, who's considerably way shorter than him. All he has to do is post them up. He had the post moves, he just couldn't finish. That's my beef. Now for defense. I think his defense is good. I feel like it has improved a lot. But one thing that I have to say is what holds him back is his strength. He's still a baby in the paint. People will still bully him in the paint, and that's an issue. And his endurance has improved. He's been hustling on the rebounding end. Yes, he has. But when he gets to gas and he's tired, oh my God, his game goes down a lot. You know, when you're playing 2K and your stamina is low and your player is blinking red, if you try to shoot when you're blinking red, you're not gonna make the shot. That's the same thing with Flight, but he's not gonna make the shot or the layup. It doesn't matter if it's open or contested. All right, time for the juicy part. We're gonna be looking at Flight's new overall, his new grades, his new NBA resemblance, and his new badges. So on the left, we have the old ratings for Flight, and this was on Polify's old video for the 5 worst basketball players on YouTube. Shouts out to that nigga. And on the right is my new list. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down. So he's now an 84 overall. He went from an 80 to an 84. Now, as you guys can see, his grades have improved. His finishing is now a B-. Just a slight increase from a C+, mainly because, hey, it's only a slight increase. He hasn't been finishing all that well, just a little. But his mid-range game, however, has improved a lot, so I gave that a whole letter grade up. It went from a C to a B. He's been making more faders, a lot of off-the-dribble shots, a lot of difficult shots, and a lot of moving shots from the mid-range area. So I gave that a whole letter grade up to a B. And he's also been making some three-pointers, so I jumped it up from a C+ to a B. His defense has also improved. It went from a D+ to a C. His strength is still a fucking F. He needs to improve on that. He's still a baby bottle pop in the paint. Now, congratulations, Flight. Everybody clap it up. This nigga got his first A grade. He got it on rebounding. So congratulations, Flight. Now his handles improved a little bit and went from a B- to a B, and his speed went up from a C to a C+. So yeah, we could see there's some great improvements. Pretty good. Now it's time for the NBA resemblances. Now for this, I added Sean Livingston and I also added Joe Johnson. So with Sean Livingston, he's a post guard, and I do feel like Flight is a post guard as well. Flight uses his body to post up a lot, especially throughout this June Flight transformation, and I do like he's been hitting these moves, and these moves have been very effective. You just haven't been making them consistently. If he does, he'll be more of like Sean Livingston, who gets in there and posts people up. And Sean Livingston also has a pretty good mid-range shot. Now Joe Johnson, he's a forward that's pretty small, but he does get inside of there and does post up a lot. He can shoot, so I said, you know what, that's also kind of like Flight. Now let's get to the badges. I gave him Gold Postman Technician, and I guess the main reason why I gave him this is because of this. And his hustle rebounder is still on gold because he still hustles and get those boards. His range extender is still on gold. That's fine. It's whatever. And his deep hooks is now on gold. It went from a silver to a gold. All right, guys. And with that being said, I could say that June Flight's transformation is like Super Saiyan 1. It's alright, you feel me? And it'll only work on a Frieza type niggas. It's not gonna work on no Cell type niggas, no Majin Buu type niggas. It's not gonna work on real comp. Flight needs to improve on his game if he wants to climb these ranks. However, I do think that June Flight is a good start. I honestly consider Flight as a streaky shooter now. I would not leave Flight open at the 3-point line, because if he gets going, he's gonna keep going. Y'all hear me out when I say this. Flight has the potential to be a shooter if he continues. I'm telling you guys this. I've seen the worst shooters turn into great shooters just from practicing their mechanics and just being consistent. And I think that Flight wants to be like his inspiration, and one day he may even be an inspiration. Who knows? So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new. This is your boy Go to Truth, and as I say in the end of all my videos, you can't handle the fucking truth. I'm out this bit.